Hello everybody and happy new year and welcome back to my channel. So today we are back with another video and this one is Glee Unpopular Opinions Part 2. Now don't worry, all of my content will not be Glee related this year. I just thought I would come back with the first one of the year with something that I really enjoy doing, and something that I've noticed on my channel is starting to get a little bit more views day by day, which is really exciting. So I'm guessing people must love or like the video, or at least be Glee fans. My New Year's resolution, as they say, was to make more videos of a year. Hopefully do one a week on a Friday, either film it or post it on a Friday, or both. It could happen on the same day, which I think today I'm going to film on a Friday and post on a Friday. Don't know how that's going to work out. But anyway, without waffling anymore, I'm going to get straight into the video and address some of the unpopular opinions that some of my friends have given me and some that I have made myself. Just want to say, major spoilers in this video if you haven't watched Glee or don't know anything about the plot or the characters or the songs. So if you haven't and you don't want to proceed watching this video, please click off now and hopefully come back to it when you've watched Glee. I encourage you to. Okay, so the first one is, I actually really like Marley. Marley is a season 4 newbie, comes in season 4 episode 1, and I totally agree. She is my favourite newbie. I did a thread basically showing off her best vocal moments, saying that we need to stop sleeping on Melissa Benoist's vocals because they are insane, like New York State of Mind. That's her first song and she killed it. Oh my god, I totally agree. She's so sweet, she's so lovely, so unproblematic. Stan Marley. Someone has said Blam would have been cute. Blam being Blaine and Sam. I disagree. Blam are amazing best friends, and I think it's so amazing the dynamic they have that, as he said, the straight guy can be best friends with the gay guy without anyone saying anything. And I think it's really cool. And obviously, ship who you want, like crack ships. Like crack ships do exist, but in my opinion, I think they are better off as friends. I just love it, and I feel like it would ruin the dynamic a lot if they were to have been together. I think they're too different. Someone said, I think Rachel Berry is overhated. Rachel Berry isn't my favourite person, but she's not my least favourite person. She is the show, therefore I cannot hate her. No matter how problematic she is, her vocals are insane, and I do enjoy listening to her. Obviously her solos were numerous and therefore it made them expected and maybe not enjoy them as much, but I do listen to a lot of her songs, and some of her storylines they kind of just forgot about, but we will end up talking about those a little bit later on. I'm reading these off my laptop, so if I start looking down here, that's because I'm reading. But so the next one says, Rachel shouldn't have got into Niada / Kurt should have had a bigger part at Nationals. They took for granted that he was going to get in, and I absolutely agree. I don't think this is an unpopular opinion. I think a lot of people actually think this. They did just assume that Kurt was going to get in because he did Not the Boy Next Door, and as he should have, Rachel got all the preferential treatment and then got in despite absolutely choking at her audition, and it didn't make sense. And I understand that Rachel's whole character development was getting to Broadway, but if she choked at her audition, in real life, that's it, there's no second chances. And I think that they had a path for Rachel and they were going to show that she messed up and then do nothing about it. She had no consequences. So 100% Kurt should have had a bigger role at Nationals. I think all he does is with glowing at the middle and the edge and the never, and that's it. The next one says, Klaine as a couple had so many problems, TBH. They were both so immature and clearly not ready for a lifelong relationship. It was pretty unrealistic for them to stay together. Klaine was toxic, as was every relationship in the show, pretty much. I agree that they were both immature and probably not ready for relationships, but they ended up gravitating towards each other in the end, and I think that was the most important thing. They were both learning as they went along, but they were learning together, and every single couple has arguments and disagreements, and I think that that's what makes them stronger. Blaine cheating on Kurt was a joke, an absolute joke, and we forget it. Then him going to Karofsky, again, we forget it. But I think they were right for each other. I couldn't have seen anybody else that they would have been good with. Sam was one of the best characters on the show. His homelessness storyline and his issues with his looks showed his vulnerabilities, but once again the show writers decided to forget about all that only one episode later. I completely agree. Sam is in my top 4 favourite characters. It goes Kurt, Blaine, Santana, Sam. And Sam is so funny and down to earth, and I just think he's really relatable to a lot of people, and he 100% went through a lot that people just disregard. He was homeless, he then moved away to work, but he became a stripper to get the money for his family. Then he moved back to Ohio, so he had no family and was living with like his friends. He lived a really difficult life, and they did just forget about that. They made him like the ditzy, I'm really good looking, so I'm going to go and be a model sort of character. And 100% that was his path. That was always going to be his path. But they explored how he was going to get there and then made it the Rachel Berry show again. Just didn't add up. The next one is going on ships again. Britannia weren't completely unproblematic / I don't like Britannia. This was me. I don't completely understand how people can say that Britannia were unproblematic. I have a whole entire list of the reasons why they're not. And if you want to see that, please do let me know, because it took me a long time to write out. But for example, Britney was trying to pressure Santana into coming out. Santana manipulated Britney and saying that getting with a girl was different plumbing, so it wasn't cheating. There were so many little things that just were a bit off. I'm not going to say that I don't ship them, because I 100% do. I don't think they was as unproblematic as people made them out to be. The next one is I don't particularly like Quinn, and I think I was the one that wrote this. I don't understand how Quinn can be people's favourite characters. What does she do? What does she actually do? Like, this isn't me being rude, but I genuinely couldn't tell you what she does apart from have a baby in season 1. And then go after that baby and that be her only personality trait. They just kind of forgot about her, and maybe that's not like the character's fault. It's like the writer's fault. But then I just didn't take to her, and she was just a bit of a bitch, and she was just never there. The Unholy Trinity are superior and I love them, but like as a trio. But individually, Santana and Britney I love. Quinn, can't take to. I'm really not a fan of Quinn's voice. I think it's just a little bit naff. I don't know. I actually love Previously Unaired Christmas. Me too. As much as it's weird, it's so funny. Just everything about it is so chaotic, and I feel like it's just the epitome of Glee. I mean, it does confuse me at the beginning when it's like, hi, Jane Lynch here, but she's dressed in Sue Sylvester clothes. I hate when they break the fourth wall. I feel like I'm going to have to do a whole nother video on me talking about them breaking the fourth wall, because it's so annoying. For anyone that doesn't know what that means, it's basically where they talk to the camera or talk about real life events within the show. I actually like Run Joey Run. Me too. It's so funny. Daddy, please don't. It wasn't his fault. It means so much to me. Daddy, please don't. We're gonna get married. Just you wait and see. Someone said I don't like Finn. I don't not like Finn, but I don't love Finn. He is kind of problematic and he says a lot of slurs, which I just think are unnecessary. But again, that's the writer's fault. Shouldn't have done it. I don't understand how putting slurs into his mouth affected anything. I don't know why they had to do that. But I think, again, Finn was kind of forgotten about. But I do think he was really sweet, really genuine, really unassuming. Like, he did make the Glee Club. Like, him and Rachel were the front of it, and I love them two together, both in the show and real life. And obviously Corey Monteith was an amazing person, amazing actor, so talented, and therefore I cannot bring myself to hate Finn. And I know you're supposed to separate the character from the actor, but there isn't enough against Finn for me to be like, no, I don't like you. The final one I have here is cough syrup is overrated and it's not Blaine's best solo. I absolutely agree. It's not his best solo. In my opinion, his best solo is Against All Odds because it was live and it was so emotive. But everyone has a different opinion. But 100% Cough Syrup was a great song. Nevertheless, I still listen to it. I still like it. But I wouldn't say that it was my favourite solo of his. I like the emotion of it, and I think if you listen to it on its own, it's very different to watching it with the scene because it's much more emotional when you watch the whole Karofsky thing happen. So that was the last of the unpopular opinions. I hope you really liked this video. It's just a little chill and chatty one. Even if you don't watch the show, I hope you learned a little bit more about it and hopefully encourage you to do so. But I hope to be back with you next week for another video. I will keep you all updated on my Instagram, which is pagethurlow.x. And yeah, thank you so much for coming and watching, guys. I really appreciate it. Like, comment, subscribe, do all the YouTube things, and I will be back with you soon with another video.